Tonight, searching for solutions after an unfavorable winter for ice fishing resort owners. Some are turning to Plan B to make ends meet.
And surveying Superior, the mayor unveiled a plan for the city to run your broadband like a utility. Why he says it would improve the browsing experience.
But first, Super Tuesday suspense. 1 week out from the major campaign stepping stone, we take a look at changes and what to expect in Minnesota.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. We are exactly 1 week away from Super Tuesday. It's one of the campaign's biggest tests for the presidential candidates.
Voters in 14 states, including Minnesota, will vote on how to distribute 1/3 of all the delegates up for grabs this election cycle. And for the first time in decades, Minnesotans will be voting in a presidential primary this time around, not a caucus.
CBS3's Ryan Campo has more on what you need to know before you hit the polls. Ryan.
Yeah, that change comes after a bill signed by former Governor Mark Dayton in May of 2016. It means Minnesotans all across the state will be casting a traditional ballot instead of the meeting style of a caucus. In a primary, polls are open from 7 a.m. in the morning until 8 at night. In a caucus, voters were required to attend during a much more narrow time frame. Voters also have the option to vote absentee or vote prior to Tuesday by requesting an absentee ballot. City officials say more opportunities to vote benefits community members and those behind the scenes as well.
You know, the primary process is something that's very familiar to election administrators, so it is easy for us to implement to some extent. Also taking into consideration some of the changes, but so from an organizational perspective, statewide, it's potentially that will be a benefit to the state that we have moved to this primary system.
By the way, when you arrive at the polls next Tuesday, you can only cast a ballot for one party. So you'll tell the precinct managers which ballot you'd like to vote on, Republican or Democrat. That information will be accessible to state's majority political parties, which will not only get a list of every voter who cast the ballot, but which party primary they voted for. Now, beyond Minnesota, Super Tuesday serves as a very significant purpose. More delegates will be up for grabs than any other single day in the election year. That could mean a reality check for some candidates who may choose to leave the race if they don't perform well next week. And coming up at 10, we'll hear from city officials about what they're expecting as far as voter turnout in this highly anticipated race.
Thanks, Brian. Meanwhile, 7 candidates for the Democratic presidential nomination will take part in tonight's CBS News debate. This is the last opportunity for voters to see the candidates together before Saturday's South Carolina primary and Super Tuesday. Tonight's debate may also be the last chance for rivals to go after frontrunner Bernie Sanders. You can watch the debate right here on CBS3, and we'll be sure to bring you the latest tonight at 10. The Duluth School Board decided to pause its conversation about shifting school boundaries. Board members voted last night after the district recommended taking the process in stages. It's a conversation that's drawn a lot of community feedback. Jill Lofald, the school board chair, says the topic isn't dead. They still plan to have a consulting firm present its final boundary change recommendation. Lofald says they hope to have a plan in place for the 2021-2022 school year.
St. Louis County voted unanimously today to raise the purchase age for tobacco to 21. Officials say the new rule would not affect cities responsible for licensing their own tobacco dealers. The county's communications manager, Dana Kazel, says the change is to comply with federal law. President Trump signed legislation raising the purchase age on the federal level back in December.
Superior's mayor is fighting for faster, cheaper internet with plans to develop the city's own network. Mayor Jim Payne, along with City Councilor Tyler Elm, introduced their Connect Superior initiative today. It includes developing the Superior Fiber Network, which would make internet just like any other city utility. Payne hopes this move would increase competition, drive down prices, and make internet more accessible for residents and businesses. Payne and Elm want to know what you think, and they've set up a survey, which we have a link to on our website. Based on that feedback, they plan to eventually take a proposal to the city's Communication and IT Committee. And eventually, the project would have to get the City Council's approval.
All right, let's check on the weather. Dave, a little cooler today than we've seen over the last 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, the cool down has begun. The warm spell is going away, and in its place, a couple of low pressure systems instead of that big old high. And the lows are a couple of little pipsqueaks, frankly, so we're not going to see that much snow from them, but a little bit of lake influence could help totals for the South Shore. So bottom line is flurries and light snow tonight around the region from those 2 lower pressure systems. That bigger one to the south is actually staying farther to the south than planned, so Snowmageddon for Chicago isn't going to come across. It's going to be more towards the heart of Illinois and then track up towards the eastern seaboard there. Let's take a look at our day planner for our region on Wednesday, and the sky likely will be on the grayer side, and there's the 30% chance for flurries in the morning. Maybe a break in midday, mostly cloudy sky but dry. Coming back home, the tail end of the lows could bring a 40% chance for flurries back through early Thursday morning. Then come Thursday, we'll start to clear up and cool down even farther, Anthony and Kristen as well. We'll talk about how low for how long coming up in just a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Well, things on Lake Winnipegosh are still looking pretty dire. Last time we visited in late January, we introduced you to the owners of High Banks Resort.
Yeah, they said the mild winter weather conditions were causing them to lose almost $300,000 worth of business. Now, those resort owners have been forced to pick up Plan B while they wait for a state lawmaker to come to the rescue.
CBS 3's Emma Quinn brings us the latest details.
At the worst of their season, High Banks Resort owners here on Lake Winnie plan to close about 2 weeks early. But with a slight bump in business this month, they're extending into March when they originally planned. But they're still looking for work elsewhere to make up for lost finances. High Banks Resort owners Rick and Kim Leonard say they had about 2 weeks of solid business in mid-February. But after walleye season ended, things have slowed down again. Now they're heading to Nashville for several weeks to work another job so they can stay on top of mortgage payments. They say State Rep John Purcell is proposing a bill that would set aside $10 million so businesses in the Lake Winnie area could apply for low interest rate loans of up to $100,000. The loans would help businesses with the money lost this winter season.
Resort owners are resilient. They're survivors. They're going to fight for everything they have. We're not looking for a handout. We're looking just for help.
The Leonards say the proposal got tabled on Monday. The next step is to wait for a hearing to be scheduled. High Banks Resort will remain open while owners are in Nashville. Other employees will be here helping out. High Banks Resort owners say they head to Nashville on Wednesday and they'll be there until late March, but they say they will head to the state capitol if a hearing is scheduled earlier.
Thanks, Emma. As we mentioned, High Banks Resort isn't the only business in dire straits this season. Tonight at 10, we hear from a bait shop that's also struggling to make ends meet.
Carleton and Pine counties have joined a growing list of Minnesota counties where deer feeding bans are now in effect. The Minnesota Department of Natural Resources says the bans are needed to prevent the spread of chronic wasting disease after CWD was discovered in a captive deer farm in Pine County. CWD is an always fatal neurological disease that affects animals like deer, elk, and moose. In counties where deer feeding is banned, the DNR says people need to remove any grains, fruits, nuts, and other food that entices the deer.
The same thing as everyone sharing a cup or a plate. You can just spread diseases faster. So the idea behind the feeding ban is to limit the opportunity for chronic wasting disease or CWD to spread.
To date, 79 wild deer have been confirmed positive for CWD in Minnesota.
There's some good news for a handful of Iron Range fire departments hoping to join forces. The Department of Public Safety announced $150,000 in grant money today. The Fayette, Eveleth, and Gilbert fire departments will see about $20,000 to help them become one department. Mountain Iron and Virginia will see another $20,000 to kickstart their merging process. The departments hope merging would allow them to have more resources to serve their communities.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, set up for success. There's a new push in Duluth to get kids involved in the trades. We'll tell you why coming up.
And I'll tell you more about this forecast that's calling for a gray sky on Wednesday, but a sunnier one come Thursday with temperatures taking a bit of a dive. We'll show you all about it with the 7-day forecast right after this break.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3. Watch Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on live local CBS3 Duluth.
You gotta feel it to believe it. Get Extreme Internet starting at $19.99 a month for 1 year. With fantastic speeds from 60 meg up to 1 gig. Dynamic streaming video, so real you can feel it. Amplified in-home Wi-Fi and all the power you need to power it all. Get Extreme Internet starting at $19.99 a month for 1 year. Call 844-EXTREME2.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, use Range Regional Airport.
The online calculator helps me plan my trip.
I fly from Hibbing because it saves me time.
I love the easy check-in and fast baggage claims.
I like the free parking and car rentals.
Include Range Regional Airport next time you travel.
It's so easy, even a grown-up can do it.
At Super One Foods, you'll find more than just low prices and better choices. You'll find friendly faces like ours, working hard to save you money.
Super One has a tireless commitment to quality and freshness and a goal of delivering 5-star service to every customer to bring the absolute best value to your shopping experience. Check out these specials available at all Super One locations going on now.
So stop into the Super One Foods right in your neighborhood. Super One Foods, serving you with low prices and better choices.
Now, we know the Trump strategy. Try to win by attacking, distorting, dividing. Mr. President, it won't work.
Newspapers report Bloomberg is the Democrat Trump fears most. As president, universal health care that lets people keep their coverage if they like it. A record on job creation. A doable plan to combat climate change.
I led a complex, diverse city through 9/11, and I have common sense plans to move America away from chaos to progress.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Dear Wallet, Toyota President's Day is on. Load up on tech. Load up on style. Load up on fun. And load up on savings. Hurry, get a historic deal before it's history. See you soon, your new Toyota. Right now, get $1,000 TFS cash when you finance a new 2020 RAV4 or lease a new RAV4 for $239 a month. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Want to watch some television with me?
Sure.
What is wrong with you?
Nothing!
Right.
No.
Okay, what you think?
Tommy, L.A. is a people town.
Can you have a town without people?
Get it?
How do I look?
You look like the chief of police.
You gotta get in on this.
Thursday, it's your night in on CBS.
Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app. CBS3 Weather is brought to you by St. Luke's. Now, the CBS3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
All right, Kristen's singing old songs from the 90s. Now they'll be stuck in my head all night, along with pondering how much snow could come across from a pair of low-pressure systems that are easing into the region and replacing that persistent high that brought us the dry spell. Well, not so dry today. We've had a few decorative snow showers coming across here in the Twin Ports. It's been a little bit heavier towards the South Shore, where lake influence is making that touch a lake effect there. And bottom line, from tonight and through early Thursday morning with a break in the middle come Wednesday, I think the South Shore might manage an inch or two as far as the snow goes, and for the rest of us, a trace to about an inch. So not a huge deal, and it'll be fairly short-lived as well. To follow on the heels of this, we've got another cool down coming our way for a couple of days. In turn, that'll give way to a warm spell, and we can eye up all of this with our 7-day forecast in a bit. But here's the current conditions that are coming in from the airport in Duluth. It's 29 degrees with a calm wind, 75% for the relative humidity, and still a high air pressure reading at the surface at 1,028 millibars. But up aloft, those two troughs are increasing the clouds and increasing the chances for a little light snow. Temperature-wise, they're starting to see a decrease. We're down to 24 Watersmeet, 23 Ironwood, 26 to 30 from Ashland to Hayward, and 30 degrees is what we have in Superior, 32 Moose Lake, and 25 to 27 along the North Shore for many of our towns. But bottom line here is, as tasty and toasty as these temperatures do seem, They're not the mid to upper 30s or low 40s or even low 50s that we had for the weekend, so the temperatures are dialing down. 25 Ely, 28 Hibbing, 22 International Falls, and mid to upper 20s towards Grand Rapids. Over the next couple of mornings here, we could start to dip towards the single digits, barely above zero. Right now, with those two troughs coming our way, we're starting to see a little bit of light snow. Right now, primarily to the south of the Duluth area, down through Carleton County into Pine County as well. But there's been a couple of little dribbles of it heading over into northwestern Wisconsin, and the Upper Peninsula has been getting at least a little bit of taste here and there thanks to that lake influence. With the two low pressure systems coming through, I think we're still going to get 30 to 40% chances for more flurries here on our Wednesday. But once Wednesday passes by, come Thursday, cooler high pressure comes to call. That'll clear us up, take our temperatures down a little bit, but I'm saying cool, not bitterly cold. So not too many towns going below zero, and if they do, it's only by a couple of degrees. So looks like that's a slight sign that winter is waning and spring could be coming eventually. Around here, that may be 2 more months. All right, tonight in Minnesota, there's that cool down coming towards the northwest. Only 4 International Falls, but 15 by the lake. And in Wisconsin, Michigan, warmer there, about 10 to 15 above for the lows. And we all get a 40% chance for light snow, which may take a break tomorrow morning, then come back tomorrow afternoon. Wisconsin, Michigan, 40% flurry chance, highs 20 to 24. There's the cool down coming. Minnesota high temps 18 to 23, getting cooler there as well as that higher pressure cell with the cooler air filters in to clear us up on Thursday, drop temps down towards zero by Friday morning, and keep us sunny through Saturday. Then Sunday, Anthony and Kristen and Kelly waiting in the wings. It starts to cloud up and warm up as well, getting back into the mid-even upper 30s by Sunday. So there's 3 flavors of weather coming our way in the next 7 days.
A smorgasbord.
Good way to look at it, Kristen.
Thanks, Dave.
Choosing a career path can be hard, but an event in Duluth is hoping to open students' minds to a line of work not all kids consider.
CBS 3's Caitlin Moffat stopped by the Construct Tomorrow event for a hands-on lesson in the trades.
Modeling high schoolers into future trades workers.
I'm just trying to see the different fields that I could go into and which one I may like more.
That's the goal of the 5th annual Construct Tomorrow workshop being held at the deck. The event gives high schoolers hands-on activities to help open their minds to different career paths early on. Landon Tubbs, a junior at Grand Rapids High School, says he's grateful to have this eye-opening opportunity.
Well, I kind of want to go into a construction field somewhere, but I just didn't know which one, and this has helped a lot.
From the hospital expansions to Superior Street redesign to the Twin Ports Interchange project, construction is plentiful in Duluth. And Mayor Emily Larson believes getting young minds educated early will be beneficial later on.
The workforce is literally paving our way here in the community for new roads, for housing, for businesses in our area, and it's an item of real importance for us.
This event not only connects students with future opportunities, but there's also a chance for adults to learn more about apprenticeships.
Most of the job opportunities that I've ever known of was either really high paying, where you needed a 4-year college degree, or really low paying, like working at McDonald's or a fast food restaurant. This type of job I didn't really know anything about, and it fits right in the middle. We make pretty good money, and it's for somebody like me who wants to be hands-on.
An event helping shape students at a young age to put them on a path for success.
Construct Tomorrow runs through Wednesday night. There's also a separate event called the Duluth Construction Career Night to connect students and adults with apprenticeship opportunities. That will be held from 5 to 6:30 both nights at Palucci Hall.
Meanwhile, high schoolers interested in welding can now sign up for free classes provided by Lake Superior College. They're partnering with Altech to provide the course. Juniors and seniors in the Northland are able to sign up. The goal of the course is to get more students interested in the trades with hands-on experience. As of this afternoon, slots were still open for students to participate. You can head to our website for more information.
All right, Kelly's here to talk about sports. What's up, Kelly?
We're talking, no surprise, high school hockey. Get used to that for the next week and a half or so. Coming up next, we're going to preview tonight's big game in Wisconsin. Plus, the Duluth Denfeld Hunters have a big one on their hands tomorrow night. That's coming up.
Multiply your points. Fridays at the Bear. CBS 3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Are you a veteran and a homeowner? Then think Streamline and maybe save yourself hundreds of dollars every month on your mortgage. A VA Streamline refinance is just for veterans and lowers your mortgage rate so you can save on mortgage payments every month, every year. And it's easy to qualify. You don't need pay stubs, a W-2, bank statements, or a home appraisal. And mortgage rates now are very low. Veteran and homeowner? Call 888-327-6866.
There are a lot of choices when it comes to automotive care, but how can you find someone you trust? At East End Auto, our customers have trusted us for the past 20 years to provide them with the best auto care. As your area's full-service repair shop, with the most modern equipment available to us, and backed by a 2-year, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty, honesty is what our customer relationships are built upon.
Locally family-owned and operated. Stop out to see why East End Auto is the community's trusted auto repair home.
At Marshall, we know that paying independent school tuition is a real commitment for families, and we want to make the Marshall experience possible for anyone who wants to attend. That's why Marshall is introducing community-centered pricing to make the Marshall experience possible for more families. We know that families have budgets, and it's our goal to work within those budgets in a way that makes sense for everybody. When we partner together, we invest in your child's future. Contact us or join us at our open house on Wednesday, March 4th.
Our shower was like 20 years old and it was just in the worst condition. We had a new shower put in and it was acrylic and there's hardly any cleaning compared to the other one. We decided to call Bath Planet and Wayne did contact us and he made sure that it was a good time for us.
He came here at 8 o'clock in the morning. Job was done by 4 o'clock.
I'm so glad that we chose Bath Planet.
Come visit us in our new showroom at the Miller Hill Mall.
Find your style at Menards with 11% off Patriot Lighting.
Or you could add stylish storage with 11% off all Dakota shelving.
Insulate and save big on energy costs, plus get 11% off.
Create your dream Clearview kitchen with 11% off.
You'll be floored by our vinyl plank flooring. Get 11% off all of it.
Whatever you're working on, you'll get 11% off. Now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I protect this house every time I step on the ice. J3 Insurance protects my house, my family, and everything important to me 24/7. Visit or call J3 Insurance today and protect what matters to you.
They want to be your president. This is your chance to see if they have what it takes. The CBS News Democratic Debate. Tonight, only on CBS.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on live local CBS3 Duluth. Now, CBS3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Well, starting next week, the Wisconsin high school hockey season will officially come to a close at the state tournament in Madison, Wisconsin. For two of our local teams, they are just 2 wins away from punching their ticket. Superior taking on Hayward tonight, and Hayward, Wisconsin is where we find our O'Neill Viersba, who has a preview of tonight's game.
That's right, Kelly. It's number 2 versus number 3 in Division 2 of the WIAA, and it's the second time these two teams will face off. Hayward, they took the regular season meeting back on February 4th. The final score of that one was 3-0, but the all-time series has belonged to the Spartans. I mean, that really has belonged to the Spartans because they've won 45 of 53 meetings these two teams have squared off. And the last time, it's been a long time since these two teams have played in the postseason, 16 years to be exact. The last time they played in the postseason was 2004 in the section finals, and Superior also won that one 4-0. Now, before this season, Hayward, the last loss that Superior has fallen to Hayward was back in 1999. But it's the postseason; anything can happen. Throw out the record books; they don't matter tonight. But even more of an incentive for Superior, as if they win tonight, they'll get an extra home game because the section finals will take Saturday at Westman Arena. So with that being said, I'll send things back to you, Kelly.
Thank you, Neil. Should be a great atmosphere. We will have highlights from tonight's game right here on CBS3 at 10. Thanks, Neil. There's a look at what time the game starts at Superior, the number 3 seed facing Hayward, the number 1 seed. WIIA Division II Hockey State Tournament next week. Well, moving things over to Minnesota, it all comes down to tomorrow night. Duluth-Denfeld will take on Hermantown in the Section 7A Finals. On Saturday, the Hunters won their first game at Amsoil Arena since 2013. 4-0 over last year's section champs, the Greenway Raiders. It'll be a tall hill to climb for Denfeld. They haven't beaten Hermantown in 8 years, including a 6-1 loss back in December. But this is a laser-focused group led by 5 seniors, and they're ready for their moment on Wednesday night at Amsoil.
You know, I think this is one of the years where it's kind of all came together, if that makes sense, and everything's been going the right way for us this year. I mean, we've had a couple blemishes, but a lot of ups, not a lot of downs, as we've just been working hard for it. You know, this is not only about the seniors, it's the whole team as a group. I mean, we got a good group of guys.
Well, we're going to enjoy it, and the one thing that we've been saying is we've done it together. We've won together all year. We've lost together all year, so whatever happens, we're going to lay everything out there, and it'll be together.
Finally, the Bucks are on the second night of a road back-to-back night for a big matchup, a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals against the Toronto Raptors. Bucks currently top seed in the East, 7 games up on the Raptors. So while it would take a lot to shift around the playoff picture, certainly a good test for each side to preview what could be a postseason matchup in May, in which the Bucks are much heavily more favored this season.
They are unbelievably good this year.
They are a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
If you're a basketball fan and you don't, they're the team to watch in the NBA.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kelly.
Cute as a button and already making history. 2 Cheetah Cubs have been born through a groundbreaking scientific breakthrough into a surrogate mother at a zoo in Ohio. The zoo made the announcement after the cubs were delivered last week. And now Izzy, the first-time mom, has been providing great care to her cubs. The Columbus Zoo partnered with the Smithsonian's National Zoo and other institutions with a commitment to conservation. Oh, adorable.
Yeah. All right, Dave, going to see some more of that sunshine?
Tomorrow, Tony.
Okay.
You'll have to wait a few more hours, but then it'll come up again. In theory, because I think the clouds are going to be on the thicker side tomorrow. We have a couple of lows working through here tonight, which will bring a light snow chance to just about everybody in the region. And by light, I mean a trace of snow is most likely for most zones, but the South Shore and the snow belt may get a little more thanks to lake effect. Then we get into Thursday, and higher pressure takes over and takes those temperatures down a couple of notches, but clears up the sky. And we stay that way through Saturday before it starts to warm up again by Sunday.
Really something for everyone. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 10.